Hello, happy second day of spring. It has come upon us. It was winter for, felt like a few seconds, and then it left. Although I know that winter was no joke for a lot of other people in the country, so I'm not making light of anybody's situation at all whatsoever. If anything, I wish that we had I always put them in air quotes, winter. Our winter out here consists of rain and a drop in temperature. There was one day when there was a lot of hail, and I failed to take a picture or a video of it because I thought that somebody was doing laundry. And you know how when people have stuff in their pockets and they forget about it, or maybe there's like a rip in like filler for something and all of that explodes all over the place. I thought that's what happened on my car because I was in such a rush to get to where I needed to go. It didn't fully register what it was. I just saw this white stuff and thought it was like pillow filling or something. And it wasn't until I got to one of my destinations that I saw that it was in fact hail, and a lot of it. And I think I did about 5 or 10 minutes of driving, and it was beginning to melt away. So it didn't last long enough for me to get any sort of physical proof that it actually did happen. But anyway, so our quote-unquote winter consists of a drop in temperature, the occasional day, not even a full day, it's more like a few minutes of hail, and a lot of rain. Although this year it really didn't rain that much, at least, yeah, because normally it's February, maybe part of March where it rains, and we had maybe a few days of rain, when normally it would feel like the whole month it just rains off and on. That wasn't the case this year, so I don't know what summer is going to look like, but expecting it to be as hot as Hades. So let's see. Well, what happened this week? It was a busy week and yet very slowish. But as far as things that I did, aside from work, which that kept me busy enough, like fun, stupid stuff. Well, actually, I'll get to that a little bit later. But as far as anything that I watched, I pretty much just caught up on some episodes of RuPaul's Drag Race. I've been bouncing back and forth between Drag Race UK and the Drag Race in the States. And there are plenty of people that will say Drag Race UK is better than the one in the States, because Drag Race UK, it harkens back to, I guess, the vibe of Drag Race when it first started. And I remember those first few episodes, or not episodes, but the first few seasons of Drag Race, and I can't remember when I kind of bounced out of it. It might have been when I decided just to give up cable, or I was just too busy working to watch TV. But I was around for definitely the first season, and I think the second and third season. I think it was a season after Shangela was on is when I stopped watching it. And interesting enough, I met Shangela, although not in drag. I met him when I was working an event downtown, and we hit it off quite well. I had no idea who he was, and I'm not anybody famous at all whatsoever, but we just struck up a really good conversation, and we exchanged contact info and kept in touch for a second. But not long after that, he blew up, and that's when I think his season aired on Drag Race. So once that got on air, that's when I didn't hear from him. So, and I'm not upset or mad about that in any way. I totally get it, and ride that train as long as you can. So you gotta strike when the iron is hot. And I am not somebody, at least in his circle or in his eyes, that would advance his career in any way. So I totally get it. But I am good for some laughs. So, what was I talking about? Oh, so yeah, I ended up watching the RuPaul's Drag Race UK finale, and I understand that when they filmed it, we were in the pandemic. I mean, technically, everybody still is, even though a lot of things are opening up a lot and quite rapidly. But for that particular point in time, things were more lockdown-ish, and I expected it. I don't know. It felt a little flat, and I know they didn't do the big pomp and circumstance that they normally. Well, I didn't see the finale for the very first UK Drag Race, so I don't know if it was similar to how they've done it in the States, where like the finales just kept getting bigger and grander, and they host them in concert halls now. I don't know when that started to happen, but it did. And but yeah, the one for UK, it fell a little flat. And I don't want to give anything away in case anybody hasn't seen it yet, but I'm just wondering why they did it the way that they did, as opposed to like having the reveal with the rest of the cast. So, I mean, I understand that they probably just want to drag it on for yet another week, but it seems like it would have made sense to, like, while they had everybody there already for that last, like, walkthrough, so everybody could see, like, the final gowns, why not show who the winner is then? Like, make it like a two-part thing if you really want to drag it out a little bit longer. Seems like they haven't had any problem dragging out the one that's in the States for, like, eons and eons. So they could have broken up the last episode of the UK edition like that. So, I don't know. But, I'm happy for the queens who are competing, and it's great that, I almost gave away the winner. It's great that the person won who won. So I'm not going to say anything more because I was so close to giving away the winner. What else to say? Oh, actually, I've looked at other things, but the thing that recently caught my eye, I didn't realize that the Today Show is a franchise now, but they have a Today Show in Australia, and I've seen the occasional clip that they would put up online, but the one that happened to catch my eye recently, it's if you are in the mood to check it out, it's Carl Mesmerized by Beautiful Crocodile Hunter, and it's the Today Show in Australia, and it's worth watching, especially if you are into Australian men. And but all I gotta say is just I watched the video from start to finish. Like, at first I'm wondering, like, well, is this gonna go anywhere? It's not like it's very long, but somewhere in that first minute or two I'm like, so when are we gonna get to the reason for the title? But it is interesting, and it's like, it just gives you that reminder how dangerous that, well, country and continent is. It's just, wow. But so what was I gonna say about that? Oh, watching that video, it has a lot going on in it. It is like, I felt like, and you'll see what I'm talking about if you watch the whole thing. It is, with all that is happening, that is shown and not discussed, and it's like there's drama, there's tension, there's a lot going on, and I felt like I was looking at, it was just shy of being like, something on Telemundo or a Korean drama, but just, or some story, just, woo. So, yeah, check that out if you want to be intrigued, or I ended up sharing that particular clip with a friend, and who was watching other clips that were, I don't want to say gloom and doom, but just not happy material. And I let them know that you might want a palette cleanser, so here you go. So yeah, if you are looking at doom and gloom or looking at conspiracy theory videos, check that out. So yeah, the week, let's see, well, aside from just things slowly opening up and more people just getting out and about and unnecessarily driving around on the freeways when they don't have to, there's a lot more traffic. Honestly, even today, and I was driving on a Sunday, it felt like it was just rush hour all day long, day in, day out. And during the week, it's just, with every passing day, it's gotten worse and worse. So, yay. People wanted things to get back to normal, and unfortunately, this is what it looks like. So, So I have been doing what I can to try to hold on to my zen and my positive outlook on things, but man, it has been getting more and more difficult as things open. So more traffic, not enough rain. St. Patty's Day. Well, St. Patrick's Day here in Los Angeles is, in my opinion, it's not a thing, and it's a dud basically every year. It depends upon, I guess, who you're hanging out with and where you go. But it's like I can find more of a party during Mardi Gras as opposed to St. Patrick's Day. But really, both of them in this town is just like, no bueno at all. And it's one of the things I missed about being any place just back east. Again, those two holidays, it's Mardi Gras and St. Patrick's Day. And not that I would be able to keep up with this, but just that whole day of drinking and all things green and just merrymaking from the early in the morning until late at night. And again, not that I could keep up with that pace, but still, just to have that around as an opportunity, that is missed. But I did get an invite from people with a different business to come hang out, and they participated in some games from college that even in college I didn't participate in because it's just very nasty. But I hung out and celebrated the day of St. Patrick's, as it were, and I wore my green, and I even brought in some green velvet cupcakes, which those things were delicious. I don't know what it is. I know that it's likely just dye, but still, they were really good. But these were the more bougie cupcakes that I got from Susie Cakes. So yeah, they're not cheap, but it was well worth getting them to make other people happy. And they were tiny. They were tiny little bite-sized ones, so it's easily ingestible. But green velvet cupcakes with a cream cheese frosting that is like real cream cheese. Can't beat it. So along with that, for whatever reason, I have been going through like just craving meat. And I caved and ended up having a hamburger one day, and I'm just like, must get more meat. So I don't know if I have like a weird iron deficiency going on, but yeah, hamburgers are just like, I have just been going through it. And so I'm trying to use this week to like, all right, let's turn this particular ship around and get off the hamburger gravy train. So, yeah, it's been a light, slow week, so I don't even have anything scandalous to talk about. I wish I did. Yeah, just busy, but on the boring side, and so much so that I ran myself a little bit ragged, not getting much sleep, and just burning the candle at both ends. So my voice, I do apologize if it's a little bit scratchy. So I'll try not to get too deep here with my voice or with any topic. But honestly, right now, yeah, I mean, there's enough stuff going on in the news, and feel free to go ahead and hop into that if you want to. But I can't deal with it right now. So I'll be honest about that. So I just need to maintain that positivity wagon train, because being out even today in just horrendous traffic. And again, I don't mind if there's traffic for a reason. Like if there's an accident, not that I wish harm on anybody, but when traffic is crawling along at 5 miles an hour and there's no accident at all, it drives me batty. It drives me absolutely batty. So, yeah, I've been just trying to, again, think positive. I was playing like nice music, just trying to get over it, but I went from, like, my anger just like skyrocketed, because people were being rude as well, just cutting people off and not using turn signals, and anyway, so music that has been on my radar this week. Some of it is new, most of it I think is old, but no, it's half and half. I don't know. Well, so let's see. Well, this one definitely is not new. It's Vehicle 45. Depends upon, I guess, where you want to find it. That's by the Ides of March. And that particular song was one of my favorites from when I was playing in the pep band for the basketball games. And that was at CSU. So I don't know why I liked it, but it was just, I think, it just had a great sound, and it was fun to play. And also Spinning Wheel, like Blood, Sweat, and Tears. That one was another favorite, and it was always really fun to play. I look forward to playing that one. And Powerhouse, which I don't know if it's called Powerhouse or that's just what our band director called it. But it's, the one from Bugs Bunny. Like whenever they're doing anything like industrial or mechanical, that one was always fun to play. Let's see, what else did I hear? I Need Love by Luca Bloom. I don't know if he is a Brit or if he's Irish. It's kind of hard to tell from him singing, and I didn't get around to checking him out and doing my research on him. But that particular song is a cover of LL Cool J's song, I Need Love. And, that one was from the debut, the one with radio on it, or it's from his second one of Mama Said Knock You Out. That's what I can't remember. I think, you know what? I think it might have been the first one. Or was it the second? Oh, man, that's going to bug me. I'm going to have to look it up later. But, that's the cover from Ladies Love Cool J's. What else did I hear this week? Quizás by Nat King Cole, which is his rendition of perhaps Quizás. Portuguese? Quizás. Or is it Spanish? Again, I do apologize. I should have looked that up before I started rambling on about it, but it's a very beautiful rendition of it. And the song, perhaps, that is it Peggy Lee that sings that one, the more common one that we've heard before. So sorry. I should, I'll try to make a note and do the research on it, because that's going to bug me as well. But anyway, when I heard that song, it conjures up this image, and I can't remember if it's from that movie Strictly Ballroom, but I feel like there were people dancing, like, with and they're backlit, and I don't know if it's like they're outside and they're backlit by something, or they're like on a rooftop and it's like backlit and there's shadows and things. There's that image that's conjured up of a couple dancing, but yeah, I don't remember if it's strictly ballroom or something else. But yeah, it's very, it's sexy and romantic, but it's good, and it's also a good song. All right, I'm Still Here, Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings, and still sad that she passed when she did, which I think that might have been, was it 3 years ago that she passed away? But I remember that Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings, they did a live set on KCRW, and I remember the DJ who was the morning host at the time, Jason Bentley. I remember him, he was talking about her, the band, and going on about how great they were, but then he kind of badmouthed her, and I guess was talking bad about a last visit that she had there, and she just kept going on about her not being in a good mood, or maybe she wasn't happy about something. But I don't know, it's just the way that he was talking about her and whatever was going on, it seemed like it was very inappropriate for live morning radio for the general public to hear. It was more of I could see that possibly being a conversation in an interview for a magazine, or I don't know, just something in some other medium, or not even publicly at all. Maybe between colleagues, it's oh yeah, much with people that work in retail and just complaining about rude customers, or I could see him discussing that then, but not on air in the morning on live radio where hundreds or millions of people are hearing it. And so I don't know, that always put a bad taste in my mouth and felt that was uncool. And granted, I was not there. I have no idea what this exchange was, but and for him to talk about her like that, and she wasn't there to defend herself, and I can't remember if he brought this up after she passed away, which, if that was the case, I think that was the other reason why I remember being really bothered by that. So, and just if that had happened, and yeah, I'm going to bring up race, I'm going to do it. If that sort of thing had happened with a white male artist, I don't think it would have been brought up at all. But because she's an older black female, and who, I don't know, when, especially if you've been in the music business, number one, the music business is not easy at all whatsoever. And so, number one, it's incredibly difficult, and it is difficult for between men and women and people of color. I mean, the list can go on as far as who it is easier for, but again, it is not easy for anybody, unless you do have music royalty as family. Then that kind of greases the wheels a little bit, but even still. Oops, sorry about that. So got a little tickle in my throat because it is so dry. But anyway, so yeah, I'm Still Here. Sharon Jones and Dap Kings. Check it out. We like to do it with the lights on. Islands. That song, I'm not familiar with the group Islands, but apparently they've been around. But this particular song, I think they released it, I don't know if it was a few weeks ago, a month ago, or a couple weeks. I'm not too sure what the time frame is, but I feel like I've been hearing the song a lot. It's a fun song. It's fun and it's quirky, and the video it's pretty much, you know what, it's very appropriate for the song. It is equally fun and quirky, and it makes you wonder oh, alright, well that's different. She's Stronger by Nana Adjoa. It has a haunting sound, and it's cool, and it has like it has me reminiscing, and I feel like it feels familiar, and like I've either heard that voice before or that haunting feeling before, and I like, for whatever reason, Luscious Jackson pops to mind, but it's not like it's a Luscious Jackson song, but just something along that vein of, because I always thought like Luscious Jackson was kind of like this cool group, and so She's Stronger has that sort of vibe about it. So, but that particular song is haunting and cool. Pay Your Way in Pain, St. Vincent. That's a new one out from St. Vincent, and it's cool. I rather like it. If I Had No Loot, Tony. This band, this is a throwback, and I remember that there were talks of a reunion in 2019, which, since then, if they were to have a reunion in the future, I would definitely be on board with that. And a couple of my favorite songs from them are Whatever You Want and It Never Rains in Southern California. I will never tire of those two songs, but along with that, they've had plenty of other hits, and but they have timeless music. It's very it's of that New Jack Swing era, but it has R&B. It's very vintage. It's soul. It's neo soul. It's just very cool. And Tony. And Till There Was You by the Beatles, which it's a cover. I'm not too sure. I don't know if did Rodgers and Hammerstein do The Music Man? I know I should know this, but because The Music Man, it's up there with one of my favorite musicals. But Till There Was You, that's the song that Marion sings about, The Music Man. So it's the song at the drawbridge, and I've never heard the Beatles do that tune, and it's part of their catalog or their discography, but I was never aware of it until this week. So, and it has it's a Spanish guitar that's played and if it's not the Spanish guitar, it's that sort of vibe. So it's not quite bossa nova, or maybe it's like a bossa nova light, very, very light. Let's see, Anyhow by Tedeschi Trucks Band. It's a 12-piece band. It sounds rather huge, but very Americana, and I don't know what I don't know, just happened to hear it today and it just stood out. It's very Americana. What else did I hear? Oh, Deadbeat Club, B-52s. Again, it's just one of those songs that you hear and it just reminds you of other things, and yeah. Let's see, The Healer, John Lee Hooker, featuring Carlos Santana and the Santana Band, and just very bluesy, very, very bluesy, and it's John Lee Hooker. And Stormy Weather by Sarah Vaughan, and another timeless classic, and just a beautiful song. And Sarah Vaughan with that voice, love it. So with that, those are my recommendations of music to check out to broaden your musical interest and possibly your musical library. So with that, I will bid you adieu. And thank you so much for hanging out with me for this golden hour. And I am working on maintaining the positivity. And I thought I was going to try to get that going yesterday, and I started. And even today, I was like, all right, give it another go. And, it's slow and steady. And I guess I'm beating myself up a little too soon, too fast. And I shouldn't be beating myself up at all, but, it's like, I want to see results now. I want to be happy and positive right now. And it doesn't happen that way. I guess in some cases it can, but, Rome, as they say, was not built in a day. So here is to day 3 of trying for better. Just trying for better. And with that, enjoy your golden hour.